let's just go on to the top 5 things to watch next week. So, number 5, I wanted to watch what's going to happen here on Home Depot. And so, what's interesting is that as a technician, this is actually a pretty classic buy on dip pattern that happens. Is that it's very similar to, let's say, what happened over here, which is that, it gives back a chunk of the rally, traders buy the dip, and it goes. And so the fact that there's a catalyst this week on earnings is going to be really interesting, whether gaps are higher. And so that's definitely the stock that I'm watching to see what reactions it has. I don't have a position in Home Depot, but it'll be interesting to see. But that does bring up a thing, Kev, is our bet. So our listeners that are not familiar with this, Kev and I, back in December of last year, in 2018, made a bet where we're both rock and rolling, but you've still got the edge on me, Kev. But
which is kind of amazing.
It's
the fact
amazing.
is, so I bet on ITB versus TLT, and you
Right.
had the bond market rally.
So
of a lifetime.
I said the bond market was going to outperform the home builders. And the long bond was going to outperform the home builders. And this is for the Christmas steak dinner. And
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, I am positive. I am positive. This was our. I assumed
No.
a
Are you
lot
sure
of
that
things.
Are you sure that you're not winning?
I am not winning because it was as of December 8th. So you have to measure. The performance from December 8th, and from what I saw, is that the home builders were up like 27%, and the TLT's up like 23% or something like
No,
this.
you're wrong. Because
What
you're
is
not doing the total return, buddy.
Okay, what's the total return?
We are neck and neck.
Tell me.
And you are actually up right now.
What?
From December 12th of 07, of 18,
yeah,
to August 16th, I am showing the ITB. That's what I bet on, right? The ITB.
Yeah.
Total return 25 and a quarter. TLT, I'm showing 25.53.
Oh my God. I can't believe we're both
you're doing price change. That's why. And you are correct here. But that's not fair. We have to do total return because that's bullshit to not do total return.
I agree. And so the bottom line is Home Depot is I think like the fifth or sixth largest holding in that.
No, not in ITB though.
Yes, it is.
No, ITB
yes, it is.
No, you're thinking XHB.
No, let me correct you here, sir. Let me just pull it up right here. You want to make a bet on this quickly?
No.
Okay, thank you, because I'm going to be right. Hold on, let's see. Here we go. So the top holdings right here, we'll use Rob Coyfin's chart there. What is the sixth largest holding at 4.53%?
Good thing I didn't bet. Smart enough to know that. You seem pretty sure that's why you gave it away. You played that really badly, but
I know I should have been a little less confident. But anyway, Home Depot is a relatively large component. So if it disappointed, which I don't think there's any reason to suspect it will, but if it did disappoint, that's not going to work well for you, right?
No, it's looking bad. I might win that. I might lose that bet. And
no, you know what? The bonds are not going to hold these gains for the whole year. I'm not that optimistic. What I need is the home builders to get hammered, and there's no sign of that. I cannot believe how they're holding up through all of this.
Well, of course. Rates have gone to zero almost, buddy. It's great for the home builders.
Yeah. It's crazy.
The best days are ahead of them. Anyways, go to number 4.
Anyway, so number 4, I wanted to just we had to. I know we always talk currencies, but how could we not mention the breakdown again in that euro? And we're now once again trading right back down to the lows of the year. And this downwards channel of lower highs, lower lows, this chart looks like shit. And the question is there another leg coming down? I'm just asking the question. Is this a double bottom? You think it's a double bottom?
No, I don't know, but you just said it looks like shit. You're
it
always
doesn't look like shit.
Yeah.
No, tell me what's so bullish about this chart, dude.
I'm not,
it's cheap.
Listen, I actually don't like it because you know me. I'm short the euro. What is it? The Mercedes Jaguar spread.
Yeah,
I love that trade. That's the one you should be doing.
Oh my God,
that's it, man. Look at that one. Dial that one because that's the trade.
But you know what? You've been losing so much money on this.
No, I haven't. Look at it, buddy.
But you're short this.
No, but I waited for the breakout.
Oh my God! So you're like you
now.
you talked about this trade for months. Don't give me the shit that you just.
No, that's not true. Remember, I
right
said all the hedge funds were short, and I said I'm waiting, and then I said I'm going to sell the breakout.
All right,
I sold the breakout.
All right, fine.
And now I'm even.
I'm not going to shit on you anymore. Point is, I still think the euro looks really weak here. And
Patrick, I have a question for you. Who doesn't think the euro looks really shit here?
Everyone thinks, but Did you
see Raul? Like, he thinks the world's ending in Europe next week.
Okay.
He doesn't think they make it to Labor Day.
Okay, but listen, it's the top 5 things to watch next week, and can we not agree that at least we should be watching whether Euro makes the break? Can we agree?
I agree, but listen, Patrick, I have a question for you. Surprise.
Yes.
The next surprise Euro, up or down?
I think the Euro's still going lower.
Yeah, I think the next surprise on the Euro will be up.
Yeah, and you said that about the pound, and you're losing, and then you said that about the Deutsche Bank, and you're losing, and God, your track record is awful. There's no credibility for you whatsoever. Right now, respected trend for all our listeners. All right, so number 3, flash PMIs, buddy. Like the PMIs are coming right across the board, right? I mean, European PMIs, U.S. PMIs. It's going to be really interesting to see how they all come in, right?
No, they're going to stink.
Right across the board. You even think the U.S. ones will too? I mean, the manufacturing ones will.
Listen, they're going to stink. The economy sucks. That's not like that. That's already in there. Right. The real question is what the market thinks of it.
Does the reaction.
That's to me more important than whether they stink or not. They're stinking.
Hey, you know what? There's that old saying that it's not what the news is, but rather how the market reacts on it, and that's going to be a good thing to watch. So it's going to stink, but will the market sell on it?
Yeah, exactly. That's the real question.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, I wanted to talk HSBC. I mean, there's a lot of these different banks we can discuss, but particularly the selling accelerated in HSBC because of the situation in Hong Kong, right? And the stock it dropped from $42 to $36. I mean, I wouldn't call that a Lehman style drop. I mean, Lehman Brothers is dropping like a rock compared to this, but HSBC, this is for a big established bank like this is a pretty big move, right?
I don't know, Patrick. Come on, let's step back.
Oh,
it's not good, but it's not the end of the world. The real question is, does it get worse from here?
That's what we have to ask. It's very oversold. I won't get. Look, if shit doesn't hit the fan on Monday and Tuesday or over the weekend in Hong Kong, then we could see a short-term low. But I mean, that's a big bet. That's a big bet.
I'll give you a trade.
Things could get pretty ugly.
That one of my coworkers brought up here, and I wish I had done it. He told me maybe a month ago, maybe even longer, 2 months ago. He said, you know what you should do? You should buy Singapore, sell Hang Seng. And the trade has been on fire. It's been one of the greatest trades ever in terms of it's just going one way. It's actually a terrific trade. I wish I almost feel like I should still do it because I feel like that a lot of the things that are happening in Hong Kong are very bad for the long term, and that there's a good chance that Singapore will benefit from all that. But I don't know anything about it. Not that stopped me from doing a trade before, but I just feel like it's in another time zone, which really bothers me.
By the way, so we don't make very many, other than me assuming we make a lot of steak dinner bets.
Yeah, I know.
We
you
clearly,
always assume.
clearly, in my mind, we make at least 3 to 4 times as many than we actually really do. But
you only consider the steak bets the ones that you're up on, and then all of a sudden they get revalued in your head.
So, we did definitively make a bet on Deutsche Bank for a steak.
Yes, we did. For sure.
And the moment you made the bet that 5 or 10, which one's next? Deutsche Bank literally in the next 2 weeks after you made that bet drops nearly 20%.
Really? When did we make it? In August?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
It was just we just literally made the bet when it was like at 780. And the moment you opened your mouth that you think 10 before 5, the thing nosedives. Now, obviously, got a little bit of a pop today in the whole market. But listen, I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you out of the deal. You
Nope.
can right now.
Nope.
You,
nope.
no,
I don't
just
care. I don't even care. I think I'm still going to win.
Okay. Then,
Well, actually, I
then
should listen. What are you offering? What are you offering? Because you might offer something
You
stupid.
could just buy. I'm just saying you could just buy me a keg steak. Otherwise, if this hits
no,
5, I am
no.
going to go wagyu on your candy
For people,
ass.
for people who don't know, Keg is a Canadian kind of cheesy restaurant. It's kind of like going to Outback Steakhouse. And Patrick's letting me off with a cheap one. I'm sticking tough. I'm doing it. You can do wagyu. I don't care because I'm gonna win.
Oh my God! All right, well, fine. Let's see what happens. All right, number 1. I'm gonna let you take this one, Kev.
Jackson Hole. It's a big
Yeah.
deal. All the central bankers get together in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Have you ever been there, Patrick?
No, I have not.
Actually, I have. I went in 1986. We drove to Expo, and we went through Jackson Hole on the way. So I was just there briefly. I should go. It's a great skiing destination. It's one of the greatest ski hills around. It's kind of one of those you have to do it.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're off track. They all go to the central bankers all get together in Jackson Hole, and this is a chance for them to make some history. I think that Bernanke did some famous QE there. I can't remember which one it was, but he announced it there. There's been a long history of them changing policy.
Do you think right now that Powell takes back the fact that this is a mid-cycle adjustment?
Yes. For sure.
Okay.
I honestly believe that he wants out of the headlines. If he was smart, he would go, and Patrick, you're going to think this is crazy. He would go and lower rates more than the market is expecting and walk away. That's what I would do. So if they're expecting 50, I would do 75. If they're expecting 25, I'd do 50. I would just do it to get ahead of them because, unfortunately, by chasing the market, you're just making it worse. And we had Barton on the other day and explained to us why the fact that T-bills were trading below IOR, ER was a big deal. I tend to agree with them. I think that there's a lot of funding and crazy stuff that's happening that way. And I think that just chasing the market down isn't doing enough. He's got to go out ahead of it.
What do you think would happen to the 2-year if your scenario played out?
Oh, it would be like instantly bid, but I think the long end would sell off.
Yeah, there would be a.
I think you could have a situation where the 2 years up, whatever that works out to, and the long end sells off. That's how, like, if he was actually smart, that's what I think he would do.
Yeah, and all of your steepener trades would come in, right?
Yeah, I know. So I'm not trying to talk my book at all. No, but I definitely I'm sympathetic to this idea that following the market around, you're just getting we had that WTF video where I got in all sorts of trouble and people told me I was a sick, weird guy for the what was it the
Game of Thrones one.
Game of Thrones one, but Powell's been neutered, and he's just like the market and Trump are leading him around, and he's got to show them who's boss. And I really think that just following the market around is not accomplishing anything. Either that or say screw
so let me
you guys
okay
and just
so
don't
so
do
then
anything.
let me ask you this question: what if nothing happens at Jackson Hole and he stays firm? Does the market get hammered?
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I think that Trump is playing the game and he wants the rates lower.
Yeah.
And he's going to continue to pressure. And not only that, if Powell does that, he's just walking into Trump's trap.
Right.
Trump is going to blame the entire recession on him. This is why I'm saying that Powell's got to go out and do more than the market is expecting. Yeah. He has to get ahead of it.
Well,
I really think he does.
It won't take us more than a week to find out, won't it?
Yeah, listen. That's what I would do. I don't think he's going to do it.
You don't think so?
No, I think he's going to do the bare minimum. but I do think he's going
Ooh.
to do the bare minimum. I think he's going to try real hard. He's not one to rock the boat. I think he's just not. He doesn't have the kind of the guts to go do it. If anything, I think you're going to find that there might be a change of policy more in Europe than the U.S. And don't forget, this might be a sign of a chance for all governments and central banks to get together and to show they're serious about reflating.
Yeah.
And Patrick, we haven't spoken about this. You've been busy, but I've been keeping my eye on the Bloomberg. Recently, I think Mnuchin, when he wasn't frolicking with his wife, he actually announced that he's going to look back at floating the 100-year, the ultra long bond.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
1 hour ago, I'm just looking at the Zero Hedge, like your go-to source of information here.
Hey, Charles gets picked up on Zero Hedge, and so do you.
I know. They publish this idiot called Macro Tourist. So how smart can they be?
They can't be that.
Yeah. So let's just look here. I think interest rates are going to stay relatively low for the next couple of years, Mnuchin told CNBC. We'll look at potentially extending the maturity of the debt because eventually we're going to have higher interest rates, and that's something that this country is going to need to deal with.
Right.
Asked if he would consider maturities of 50 or 100 years, ultra long issuance has become increasingly popular in Europe. Mnuchin said, "We'll take a look at everything."
So you think that happens there?
I don't know. I just listen. If I was like, me, I'm bearish. So I would be selling everything I can. I would be like hitting every bid that I could. Like really, over 100 years. Like what would a 100-year trade at? Like let's just look at this. 100-year in Austria is trading what? Like a 160 or something? I can't even remember.
No,
anymore.
it started at 160. It went under 1, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so Austria's not the right case but let's just look at like U.S. So the longest bond in the U.S. is what, 30? So the 30 is trading 2%. So let's add another what? Maybe let's. You know what, Patrick? There's a chance that because people have such a desire for duration that it barely trades above 30.
Okay.
So let's say it trades 2.25. Do you
All right.
really think that over the next 100 years that's not going to be a great
okay.
trade?
Stop for a second. Over the next 100 years, but what about the next 5 years? It doesn't make it a good idea. You've been freaking early to this shit all for the last.
No, but Patrick, if you're thinking as a government official, you should be selling. If you think that there's going to be 5
Oh, yeah, they
years,
should be.
They should be selling it this year. They should be selling it next year. They should be
just
issuing
be
issue.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll agree with that. They should be selling as much of it as the market can pick up.
When the ducks quack, you feed them, and the ducks are quacking like it literally seems like a Ducks Unlimited conference this weekend. All you bond bulls are going bananas. I would be pasting every bid I can imagine. Anyways, let's go on. That's it. We're done.
Well,